This is Learn from Others, where we interview a cross-section of successful individuals so you can learn from their experiences, achievements, and even their mistakes. We ask 4 questions that will educate and inspire. Greg Stanley will be your guide as we join our guest on a journey from adolescent daydreaming to success in today's world. Join us on this adventure as we learn from others together.
Well, welcome to Learn from Others, where we help others succeed by sharing success. I'm very excited to introduce our special guest, Nuri Tawwab. Nuri, how are you doing today?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Well, before we find out what you're actually doing today, if you would, could you please tell me, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, growing up, I actually wanted to be a broadcast journalist. I was on a school newspaper. I was a school anchor. I was an investigative journalist.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I was doing everything in media. I wanted to be all over the news. I wanted to be on CNN. I wanted to be a kids anchor for Nickelodeon.
Wow.
I saw it happen all the way through high school. And then my dad, he got cancer. And from learning about chemotherapy, drugs, and medications, I went into pharmacy.
Wow. All right. You just led us right there. So what you do today is you're a pharmacist, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So basically a pharmacist is someone who makes sure the medications or that physicians or dentists or nurse practitioner or anyone who has the legal right to write prescriptions, I make sure that they're dispensed safely and correctly. So also certain medications, they're not good for certain populations. So as a pharmacist, I will tell the doctor that, hey, this wouldn't be good for a geriatric or older patient. I would tell the doctor, hey, this patient's on this particular medication. You might want to try something different. Or I tell the doctor, sometimes that prescription you wrote doesn't even exist. So let's try something different.
So was it that time when your father got sick that you really started to shift your career aspirations from being a journalist to being a pharmacist? Yeah.
So basically, as an investigative journalist, you're always trying to find out, what caused this problem, what's causing the issue, what's the way you can help. And as a pharmacist, you're kind of doing the same thing. When you get a prescription in, you never really see that patient as far as what caused them to come into the doctor's office. So basically, all you have is a piece of paper with a drug that this patient needs. So you have to, as a pharmacist, ask the patient, what other conditions do you have? What other medications have you taken before? How often do you take this medication? Are you taking it correctly? Do you go to any other pharmacy that I'm not aware of that you may be getting prescriptions at that I need to know about? And so those same skills that I use as an investigative journalist, I was also able to bring those into the field of pharmacy and make me a really great pharmacist.
That's awesome. So if you would tell us, how did you get to where you are today? So tell us your education and kind of your career path.
Okay, so definitely. Yeah, I started off at Cincinnati State.
Okay.
I did 2 years, because pharmacy doesn't require a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
So I did 2 years at Cincinnati State, and I got my Associate of Science, and then I applied to pharmacy school. I went to pharmacy school in Virginia at Hampton University, and I did my 4 years there. And after my 4 years, I took a job on an Indian reservation.
What?
Yeah, I lived on a Navajo Indian reservation for 2 years, and I was a pharmacist there. That was pretty great. It was like living in another country, but still in America, learning the culture of the Navajo natives, driving.
Now, did you have any, were they still doing any of the old school medicine practices? Or was it pretty much aligned 100% to
Yeah, it was
today?
pretty much. We had a medicine man who, they wanted alternative medicine, but majority, 99% of the people were getting modern Western medicine.
Okay.
A lot of the other, I say physicians and nurses that I work with are also Native Americans. And so it was a really great experience, learning and sharing the cultures between us two. And, you really appreciate, areas that you grew up in, like Cincinnati, where you can drive to the grocery store in 10 minutes. We're on a reservation, the nearest grocery store was 3 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
Or the nearest airport was 5 hours. So I lived next to where John Wayne made all his movies in Monument Valley. Wow! So I drove out to. I can actually go to his trailer where he slept when he made different movies.
Oh wow!
I actually got to see the scenes. You might see in a movie, cowboy movie, a mountain. It looks like a hand or a mitten. That's called Monument Valley. I lived out there. I was like 5-10 minutes away. I was stationed in Kayenta, Arizona.
Okay, so where'd you go after Monument Valley area?
Okay, so after I did the 2 years in Kayenta, I went out to the Food and Drug Administration, which is where I'm at now.
Okay, so now what's your typical work week like with the Food and Drug Administration?
Oh, it's great. Basically I work with generic drugs.
Okay.
And so basically working on work with a review team who reviews immediate release tablets and capsules for generic drugs to get approved, make sure they're safe and effective before going onto the market.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. So now looking back on your career, is there anything you would have done differently?
I would have been more, as far as a career, I would have been more eager to go after scholarships. I focused more on school, but it's weird because I was telling my wife every scholarship that I applied for, I received. And these are a good, 1,000, 2,000 here. But I never applied for many of them because I just didn't take out the time. So I wish I would have did that more versus taking out so many student loans.
Right. Yeah, that's smart. Looking back, that would be a nice change.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, let's talk to the student who wants to do what you do, who wants to be a pharmacist. What advice would you give them?
Basically, just get more acquainted with your math and sciences. Pharmacy, again, doesn't require a degree, but the bachelor's 2 years, it doesn't require a bachelor's degree, but the 2 years undergrad is basically the amount of work of 3 years of a chemistry degree. So it's kind of condensed 3 years of a chemistry degree into 2 years. So if you're in high school, if you can prepare yourself by taking more chemistry and biology and calculus and algebra in high school classes, it will really prepare you for the undergrad level of pharmacy. And also, pharmacists were basically chemists who work with patients. Mm-hmm. So that classes that you learn in undergrad actually builds, because you go from general chemistry to organic chemistry, and then when you get to pharmacy school, you're taking medicinal chemistry. And you're taking all these different other biopharmaceutics. It's just more chemistry related to medicine. So all those different things, if you can do, and then just be open-minded. There's so many things in pharmacy you can do, whether you're working for a drug company, your own pharmacy, a retail pharmacy, or anything like that. There's so many things in pharmacy you can do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking us on your career journey today.
No problem. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to Learn from Others, where we help others succeed by sharing success. Where will our next adventure take us? Subscribe to find out. If you know of someone who has a cool career story or occupation, contact Greg through Instagram at Greg Stanley LFO. That's GregStanley LFO. And we will see you soon as we learn from others together.